Hey there, Soul Shines, it's Michelle here, and it's a Creative Expressions video. Creative Expressions, we talk about life updates, works in progress, finished objects, anything else I feel inspired to share, things like that. So here's my funky little intro. Before we get started, let me let you know if I have a pattern. The pattern link is in the description box below. You can find a link to my link tree, which if you click on that, it pulls up a whole bunch of other links. You can look there, peruse what you want to there. I always have a link for this. I do not have a link for the temperature snake, but if you want it, you can either look back through other videos or you can ask me. What else? Remember to hook that subscribe button, like the video, leave some yarn, a comment in the comments. I love all the comments. I love interacting with people. Tell me what you're working on. Have you finished anything recently? What's going on in your lives? How are things? And there are chapter links, so if you're like, I can't watch this for any reason, or I'm so bored, then you can just skip. I know sometimes I have to play myself on fast speed because I'm like, I kind of talk slow, but some people like that. And then to some people I talk fast. I don't know. Anyway, let's get started with finished objects. What have I finished? Oh, I made this. It is so stinking cute. So, I have a friend who was invited, I think I'm invited to her tea party for her birthday. So I made a saucer and I made a teacup. And this is what I'm going to give to her for her birthday. So, yes, there are some things that I would do a little different. I actually like the way that the teacup itself turned out. I did not take notes, so there's no pattern. The thing I wish I would have done is that my butterfly, it looks wonky anyway, but I wish that it was more this towards the handle so that it could sit here, but instead it's got to kind of sit like this to see it. I mean, you could still see that it's a teacup, but so that's one of the things that I made. I am so proud of myself for making that. It was pretty fast. Other things that I made. So I'm so excited to give these to my daughter. Let me find them all. My daughter asked me to make reusable cotton pads. So I have made a few. I have a knitted one. And this is another knitted one. Size, I don't know. I like the white size better. But I just made. This yarn is softer and this yarn is more of a kitchen yarn. So I'm going to let her use them, wash them, report back to me on which yarn she likes better. Also, does she like the knit ones? Or I have made some crochet ones for her to try. So this one here looks like it's a half double crochet around for her to see if she likes. This one's a single crochet. This is a half double crochet, which I made fancy, but then with the brown ones I'm like, I'm not gonna worry about fancy. If she wants fancy, when we actually know what she wants, then I can do that. And then this is a single crochet, also did a fancy edge. And then this is just another single crochet because I was running out of yarn and I was bored and that's what I had close by me. So I was like, I'll just crochet another thing. So I have these for her to try, to report back on to me what she actually likes. If the, one of the concerns she has like with knit is, if I were to use a larger needle, like I do for regular washcloths, the stitches are too loose. So I don't think that this one is going to be too loose, but we don't know. But that's another thing, is if she likes the knit but it's too loose, she can let me know and I'll go down another needle size. Same with crochet. So she's just going to try them. We're going to make sure she washes them and see how they feel after, because this stuff's a little bit rough, but it might soften up and be perfect after. I don't know. We're going to kind of play around with them, see what she likes. And if she wants more than these, she'll let me know and I'll make them. So that's also finished and I'm excited about that. So finished cotton pads. I think that is everything I have finished. Yay! Now for the real excitement. I got to the end of the skein for my vortex shawl. I have this much yarn left on that first skein. So I put it on these cords like Shannon shows. She taught, I can't remember what it's called, but it's this pink stuff that's got holes in it, so you can stick it on to the end of your needle and just slide stuff on, and it's great. But I decided to see how far one skein went. So this is what we've got with it off the needles. It is a bit of a stretchy yarn, and if I stretch it across the side, we get about that far stretched out, but not stretched, you know. It's kind of fun. I'm excited to put it back on the needles and get out the next skein. We've got 2 skeins, and so I will keep going and see how big it gets. The sections are that big right now, but this is just really exciting. It's really fun. It's really fun. So got that far. One skein down. Next time you see it, it will have the second skein going. It will be back on needles and it will be awesome. That must be what this needle is. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure this is the needle for it. Because I'm like, wait a minute, where's my needle? Ah, that's scary. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Other thing I did. So close. I was working on a seahorse. So I have a yellow seahorse here. I need to weave in all of the ends and then put the little face bits on. There's some like colored spots that go on and things like that. So I'm really excited to have another seahorse. So close. So that was exciting to work on again. And then the other thing I pulled out, I did a few rows on yesterday, was my grandson's cardigan. And I figured out yesterday that I've been doing the chart wrong. But I've gone through 2 sections. With this yarn, I think I'm just going to switch over for a few rounds and see if you can tell the difference to go back to the right way of reading the chart. I don't know. It's just these front patches and it's just at the bottom. So got the 2 front panels and the back panel. And so I've been working, I go across once and go back across and all 3 sections, and it's great, so they move up together. One of the nice things is with here, there is a marker here. This is where I put the button. And over here is my first buttonhole. And where I had stopped and left it for a while is just above the buttonhole. So I've done about 1 inch since then. And the next buttonhole goes in at 4 inches and 3/4. So 4 3/4 inches will be the next buttonhole up here. And then this is excited. I work these 3 panels till they are 11.5 inches. And then I have to pay more attention to the pattern to go through and fix that. So I'm really excited. I got that pulled out and started working on it yesterday. It's great to be making progress on that. So I think that's everything. I'm going to look really quick at my things just to see if there's anything I'm missing. Oh, there is. I'm going to go grab it. But haven't been working on the bag. I have been working on the sweater, the scarf, socks, the vortex shawl. I've showed you where that's at. The temperature socks, I've been working on them. I think next week should have an update because it will be the first Monday in August. Okay, so I do have another finished object. So let me go grab that. Okay, so my finished object is the tithing hat. I finished it this last Sunday, navy blue. I did 2x2 ribbing along the bottom. I can't remember how many stitches I did. A 90 something, I think, along it, so that it's nice and big for men, because it is going to the homeless, so most of them will be homeless men. But yeah, I got that done. I was very excited to finish it on Sunday, and we'll be excited to start another one this coming Sunday. Oh, I have not done anything more with napkins. I really need to. I just sometimes working with the tiny needle. So I might get that done. Let's go into some of the life updates. And part of why it's been so nice to get going on things is we are doing a technology fast. I have some exceptions, like can do this stuff today because it's for my channel, so I can record the videos, I can edit the videos, and every once in a while I go in and look at comments, so I can do that. I have eliminated YouTube off of my phone. Facebook is no longer on my phone. Instagram still is, but the only thing I use Instagram for is like I'll take a picture of this and post it on Instagram, which also goes to Facebook. I might go into Facebook and send it to my group. Kind of depends. Kind of not doing the Facebook thing at all. I took all the games off my phone. Except for one. It's one that we only play as a family. It's like you put it on your head and they read the word and they have to act it out or say words until you get it. Depending on how you play it. And so I left that phone on my game, but otherwise all the games are off my phone. I was using technology to numb out, to disassociate, and so has my family been. And so we have done this. There's a puzzle up in our living room. It's been going on for a few days. I have not worked on it, partly because I know how I get with puzzles. I can get pretty obsessive, and I wanted to leave it up for my daughter because it's her puzzle. So it's kind of up for her to work on as she wants. The other kids sometimes join in, and that's fine. But I kind of haven't really done anything. I helped them figure out a problem with their edge. They had a couple pieces that were in the wrong place, and I fixed that for them. But otherwise, I have been letting that go. We have gone up to the canyon. Let's see, my son and daughter and I went up on Saturday while the kids were gone, and that was really fun. And then on Monday we all went up, and I really enjoyed it, but I feel like we left too soon. And then yesterday, we didn't have a fire yesterday, but we still went up, and our picnic spot was way too close to the road, so we turned it into a game, and we picked a color, and we, as the cars went by, it made it so that the cars going by were a part of a game instead of a nuisance being so close to the road. Next time, if we got that spot, we're gonna take our stuff across the street. There's not a picnic area, but you can go down a little path to the river. I call it a river loosely. I live in Utah. Our rivers are streams. I've been to Tennessee, so we crossed over the Mississippi. I've been over the Mississippi and the Missouri. I know what real rivers look like. In Utah, we have streams, but we have real mountains. In Tennessee, they're like, our mountains. And I'm like, where are your mountains? I don't see mountains. I see hills. But they have real rivers over there. So I think it's funny to think about the geography. But anyway, so we go over, and there was a little place that we could have set up our chairs and our little table that we took with us, and just sat there where we weren't going to have a fire. It would have been perfect, because we didn't need the fire pit or the barbecue pit, because we just didn't have anything for that. The other 2 days we did. My son's got he's got the things to cut the wood and get it ready, and we didn't. The place that we were buying wood from ran out, so there was a lot of reasons we didn't have a fire yesterday, but it was okay. We took games up, we played. We've been playing a lot of games this week as a family. It's been great, and sitting in quiet is both really hard and really good for us. And it's been like, okay, if you can't turn to your technology, then why not work on your projects? And so it's helped me to pull them out versus vegging out on a game. We've also been doing some shampooing the rugs in our house. Our dog was old, and he would pee all over the house every day. It was like, where has the dog peed? The floors were disgusting, but at the same time, it was like, if I shampoo them, I'm just gonna have to shampoo them again. And so now we are slowly working our way through and shampooing different areas of the house, getting that done, and it is making a huge difference. Speaking of the dog, it's been hard. For a while there, I was getting really dizzy because I would swear he was right there and he wasn't, and it would make me, like, I just literally got dizzy because it was like, wait, he's not here anymore. So that was crazy, and my son's still struggling, but we've used Ho'oponopono and Neurographica and talking about things to help stave off some of the feels. My son's like, I use technology to help me get past this, and I'm like, no, you don't. We don't use technology to help us get past things. We use technology to distract us from those things, and that's not the same. Video games, YouTube, whatever. We social media, people use those to kind of disassociate and distract themselves from life. And I'm not saying you need to do this, but for us, it's meant that there is quiet time. We have to think about how we feel, and we have to think about these things. And maybe it's not perfect, and maybe there's still a lot of feelings. It takes a long time to go through the feelings, and it's probably going to be a good long time before we stop looking for the dog. Like, I often put chocolate chips in with rice Chex and eat that. And it's been really odd not saying, hey, make sure the dog doesn't get this, or making sure I put it up so the dog doesn't get it. We had to close the bathroom door so he wouldn't pee in front of the toilet, because it's really hard in the middle of the night when you have to pee really bad to go to the bathroom if there's pee in front of the toilet. So the habit of not closing that door again is weird to try and break. So things are just off, but they're getting better. And I really loved not having the technology. I loved seeing my kids play games together. They used to a long time ago, and then everybody got sucked into their phones. My plan is to have some rules about technology going after this. We still have a couple weeks left before school starts, and I want to have like no technology before a certain time. Maybe have a certain period in the evening or a cutoff time where there's no technology. For one thing, people have been going to bed at better times, not perfect times, but people have been going to bed better. We've been doing cleaning up better because I'm not having to argue with them to get off phones when I call them. The only one that's really struggling to come when she's called is the one putting the puzzle together. But otherwise, people have been so much more cooperative. And it's because they aren't stuck on their phones being like, okay, well, when I finish this game or whatever. So I think we're going to have some rules about when technology is available in our house. And I have to follow those rules too, which is both a challenge and a good thing for me too. So we're making it through and we're doing well. I don't think I'm going to put any games back on my phone. I don't need that kind of distraction in my life. My biggest problem will prevent myself from doing online puzzles. Because those are definitely, even though I have to use my brain to focus on things, they're very much a mindless thing. So it's a distraction. I would rather work on my yarn things as a mindless thing, which isn't really mindless either. And because it is such muscle memory, it is in some ways more mindless, unless I'm looking at a pattern. But it will be good for my family, and will be good for me to not be on the technology as much as well. Ever since I did a fast from Facebook, quite a few years ago, I literally took a whole month off of Facebook. And I came back and I was like, it was the first time I was like, all of these notifications don't matter. The posts are so old, it doesn't matter. And I was able to just like clear it away and be like, okay, it doesn't matter. Since then, I have less interest in the notifications. I'll go through and look specifically for comments. And then I wish you could turn off, like, do I want to get notified of whether or not somebody liked my post? No, I don't care if they liked my post. I don't pay attention to if people like my YouTube videos. I would love it if you do because it helps the algorithms, but I don't pay attention to that because I don't put my value in whether or not you like this video. I would rather get comments because I love like the feedback through actual comments and talking to people. That's what I would rather. And then I also always do a no Facebook Sunday thing. And I think the no Facebook Sunday thing is what has kept me from getting sucked back into Facebook. So I don't miss Facebook. I'm like, about Facebook. I never got into Instagram. I only ever used Pinterest for actual, like, if I'm kind of trying to figure out what my aesthetic is or something like that. I never really got into it, so it's not a problem for me. I don't have TikTok. And I don't think that YouTube videos are a problem to just listen to, depending on the videos. Sometimes they're for numbing out and distractions, and sometimes they're for education, and sometimes they're support for other people. So it's kind of a mix. I'm sorry I've not been watching your videos lately for a couple of reasons, but especially not this week as we're doing the fast. So by the time you watch this, fast will be over. So yeah, kind of our big life update is we've been doing a fast, but it's helped us to reconnect as a family more. in so many ways, I kind of wish we could just get rid of technology altogether. But I do like the idea that when we break our technology fast, when we start using it again, we can watch movies as a family again. I just also want to be very careful about how we choose those kind of moments in our lives. Yeah, that's kind of it for today. I remember, let me pull up a couple of things. Crochet and knit. And this. Okay. I have a hair on my arm. Okay. I love you guys, seriously. As people say, whether you're new or old to my channel, I agree with that. It doesn't matter if you're brand new here or if you've been around for a while. I love you. I have worked very hard on loving people. And so I can truly say I love you. And I'm grateful for you. And I'm so glad you're here to watch. I'm so glad that I have made friends through YouTube. Who knew that doing a YouTube channel you'd make friends? But I have, and it's great. And I'm so grateful for it. So, with that, I would like to remind you guys to let your light shine through your creations. Knit or crochet your own designs or something that comes from the pattern. Whatever it be, whether it's some other craft, I don't care what kind of craft it is. Whatever you're doing, hey, maybe you're a cook, maybe you're a baker, and you let your light shine through your food creations. It doesn't matter to me, just let your light shine, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!